So the long-awaited One Piece chapter 992 finally dropped. It was a few days ago now at this particular point of me putting this video out, and I'll be honest with you, it's interesting because in this chapter, Oda, the creator of One Piece, of course, Eiichiro Oda, clearly gave the finger to a lot of people that accuse him of constantly skipping fights, right? Because like people were really upset about him skipping the fight with the Scabbards versus Jack, and to be honest with you, it was fair criticism. Like he skipped out on a fight that we should have seen. The whole Zou arc was about that, about what Jack did to them, cutting legs off and tying people up, torturing, all sorts of shit. So valid criticism at the very least regarding that aspect. But then we get to this chapter, right? And 992, man, loving the Scabbards, man, loving Kinemon, all of them, like they did their thing. But then I've noticed some of the fandom now are saying that they're complaining about the battle and saying, yo, why are they able to hurt Kaido? What the hell is this? And I'm like, you can't win. Oda has written so many great plot twists and great characters and great storytelling and everything, to the point where expectations are so ridiculous. He skips out on a fight, he gets shit for it, which again, I gotta continue to say, that was rightfully so. Like, you can skip out on some fights, but that was too built up. Like, maybe we'll get more Jack though. But, you know, he skips, he gets shit, then he actually showcases it in vivid detail in a freaking immaculate battle. And then there's some fans that are like, yo, Kaido's too beastie, this shouldn't be happening. Like, no, this should be happening, and I'll explain to you why as we go through this video. But man, yo, from the start of the chapter, Marco, Big Mom, the battle with the Scabbards versus Kaido, just everything in between, like, yeah, let's talk some of that One Piece greatness. One Piece back, baby. Let's do it.
Say we gonna do what we do, no matter how you move, make your move. That's how it be though.
So the start of the chapter already blew my socks off. I'm not even gonna lie. You talk anything, even a remote little smidge of anything about Shirohige, aka Whitebeard, and I'm already like, oh my god, we're doing this. We're talking about the man, the legend, the myth. Like, okay, let's do it. And we got a conversation with Big Mom, Perospero, and Marco. In particular, it starts off with Big Mom and Perospero about Big Mom's allegiance and alliance with Kaido, because like there's been a few chapters which, to be honest with you, I was a little bit like not necessarily confused, but just looking at Perospero to a different light, because he's always shown, for the most part, I guess he's more loyal to himself than Big Mom. Like, he's loyal to Big Mom, but it's really all about himself. He's a selfish bastard, as displayed on Whole Cake Island. So in this chapter where she's like badgering him like, yo, you don't trust me, what the hell you think? And he's like, no, we just wanted you to be Pirate King so bad and shit like that. Which, stop it, Perospero, you may want that, but it's again for your own purposes of whatever the heck it is with you. But their conversation leads to Perospero saying, you know what, I trust you, mama, give me a big old hug, bitch. And in doing so, it crumbles the alliance that was beyond short-lived of Perospero and Marco, because right, they had like their little alliance, they were supposed to be working together, and that was like one of the most shortest lived alliances in all of One Piece. Like, how long did they really last? I mean, hey, who knows, this could be a part of a master plan of Marco and Perospero. Like, yeah, pretend you're cool with Big Mom, but like, I don't know, either way, we gotta wait and see. And then Big Mom faces her attention to Marco, and she's like, yo, fam, I thought you were better than this. You were working with these whippersnappers. What the hell are you doing here, fam? And she starts talking like, yo, the minute you start talking about Whitebeard, I'm looking at you like, Big Mom, I hope Frankie just shows up. Like, every time Big Mom does something fucked up, Frankie should just show up with his motorcycle and crash into her real quick and drive away. I would love that. I need a montage of that, of just every single time Big Mom has said something out this world, just Frankie goes, boom, and then she shuts up and we move on. Because goddamn, yo, you don't talk about Whitebeard like that. You don't do it. Because she said it's so sad how the Whitebeard pirate remnants have lost their way, to which Marco replies, bitch, shut the fuck. No, Marco replies with, you still think that we're following his lead? Like, fam, like, everybody that is still left from the remnants of the Whitebeard pirate are free now. We're not following his voice, isn't binding us to his will no longer, which I love that. That was powerful. And to be honest with you, like, I'm curious what Marco's next step is going to be, assuming that alliance with Perospero truly is over. Where to next? Is it to go meet up with Luffy? And just a random thought, random as hell, but where the hell's Weeble? Because, you know, Weeble's still on the manhunt for everybody that is a remnant of the Whitebeard pirate. So I'm waiting for Weeble to show up and crash the party. Like, he just drops out of the sky with his mama into Wano, and he's like, But the conversation ends with Big Mom, again with the disrespectful nature, saying, "Ah ha ha, dead men give no orders, do as you will," which it was a very awkward conversation, to be honest with you. Like, Big Mom just a nasty, disrespectful little shithead, and then, you know, Marco is just kind of like playing it cool, because at the end of the day, let's be real, Marco don't want no smoke with her. He wasn't on that level of Whitebeard by any means to be able to go up against a Yonko. But yeah, that exchange in general, just you opening up the chapter talking about Whitebeard with another Yonko, Big Mom, and Marco being there, and Perospero breaking up the, like, that alone already some pretty awesome content. Then we get a setup with Carrot. I believe she noticed Perospero, because if I'm not mistaken, it's been a while, but Pedro died at the hands of Perospero, right? He tried to like blow himself up and Perospero survived, but he didn't, because Carrot says, "Okay, I saw somebody, I'm going to go avenge Pedro," and I'm imagining that means that there's going to be a setup with Carrot versus Perospero, which, yo, I want to see Carrot go up there on the roof and get the moonshine, because she was a beast when she activated her Sulong form. I want to see that shit. I'm just saying, like, yo, somehow, someway, let's get Perospero and her launched to the roof, and she's just going to rip him into absolute pieces if she gets the opportunity, because, yo, Carrot, I wonder how much longer we're going to be with her. Like, after Wano, is she going to stay behind, because like the stuff with the animals from Zou is over? Can't wait to see where this goes, because right now this is going to be after this arc. I'm imagining, again, I don't know if they're going to all get separated somehow, some way, on some like Kuma sending them flying type of shit or whatever, but this could be the beginning of either Carrot finally staying behind or new Straw Hat inductions. I mean, we already got Jinbei there, but yeah, I guess we gotta wait and see. Although, like, at this point, Yamato over Carrot. Like, Carrot's cool and all, let me get Yamato. Although, I guess with her powers, it like kind of balances out, right? Like that she needs moonshine to become this absolute beast. Other than that, she's just like okay-ish, which she'll fall in between like the weaklings of the Straw Hats and the really, really, you know, top big three. And of course, criticism in here, small criticism, Luffy continues to head towards Kaido, and Luffy is running. Again, I said this in the spoiler video, but I'll say it again. Luffy running in this arc isn't as bad. I mean, it's still kind of like, okay, like I don't even care to really see Luffy until he's actually back in action at this point, because it always gets me reminiscent of Luffy running, like, you know, when he was running in Punk Hazard. But the difference is like that I'm okay with it to a certain degree in comparison to previous times of Luffy and the Straw Hats running, is that he's running to the danger, not running from the danger. So the character development that we got, let's just say at the end of Dressrosa, where he said it's no longer time to run away from these people, is implemented there. Again, he's not running away, he's trying to get to Kaido to knock him the fuck out, or so he thinks, because let's be real here, I don't think, I don't know. I mean, that Rayleigh training that he had at the Udon prison, you know, thinking back to Rayleigh and training with the little old guy and shit like that, it could amount to something. But yeah, then we cut to Black Maria singing a song about meeting under the moonlight and shit. And I'm imagining it's more of like metaphoric of, you know, Kaido and the minks and all of the Scabbards and shit reuniting for this big battle that was, you know, originally started from Odin's era and shit like that. I'm imagining that that's what it was, more so metaphoric, but it was either way interesting. And in the anime, I know they're gonna do this nicely, which, by the way, the One Piece anime has done Wano so well. Wano has been excellent in the One Piece anime, and I can't wait to see how this looks. Like, this could be like one of those, you know, the way they do end of act 2, act 3, like, not necessarily that, because obviously it's not the end of the act, but just the way they do things with the music and shit. This is gonna look gorgeous in the anime like a year and a half from now. Then we cut to the Scabbards versus Kaido. You see Kaido in his awesome dragon form, which the double spreads in this chapter was just like, bam, Oda was giving it. And this is where the complaint comes in from the fandom, because I've seen some of the fandom saying like, yo, this is ridiculous, Kaido is getting hurt by the Scabbards, how the hell, all of this jazz. Which, to be honest with you, okay, let's look at the confines of this arc and who is here, right? There's a few people that, or there's very minimal people, shall I say, that should be able to take out Kaido. Obviously, if Big Mom went to blows with Kaido and had a little bit of help maybe from her children and the Straw Hats, I could see her taking him out, right? So there's one. Aside from that, how many people that are on this island are really truly capable of taking out Kaido? Like Luffy, we've seen earlier in the arc, and mind you, he did have a lot of training at Udon, but he still isn't on that level, I don't feel, to be able to take out Kaido. Like, he's not there yet. So really, this is probably, in my opinion, the best display. It ties in together the whole stuff that's been in the background of all of Wano, with Odin's backstory, Odin's connection, Odin getting his revenge via his vassals, and all of that shit. Like, I think that this is very appropriate on top of the buildup that we had since like Zou of the Sulong, when they have the full moon and shit like that. It all makes sense. Yeah, on top of the the fact that they have Oden's style, which Oden was the only one that ever damaged him and shit like that. They have all of that in combination. That should hurt this dude. But I mean, we get just panel after panel of Neko slashing him, Kawamatsu hitting him with the sword one time, and it completely continues to demonstrate like, yo, they're actually really hurting him. What the hell is going on here? Fucking Inurarashi stabs him with his sword leg into his body. Izo hits him with like scythes and shit with fucking destructo discs and stuff. Like, they all are putting in work, which it's really making that the Scabbards amounted to something great, opposed to just being like quaint relics of the arc. Like, that was something I was a little bit nervous from the beginning of, like, wow, how are they gonna get their revenge? Like, are they gonna be able to do it? The fact that they're Oden's people and it really amounted to them being able to take out, or at the very least damage, the main villain is a good thing. I'm fine with it. I'm happy about that. I would have been more disappointed, like, oh, so the Scabbards were all hyped up to be trash. Like, no, they're hyped up to be everything that they were told to be. The Sulong form, them using the sword styles, like, yeah, they're that shit, and thankfully so, because again, it would have just been typical shonen formula if they would have just been sidelined so that Luffy could get all the action. I'm sure Luffy will have some confrontation with Kaido at some given point, a little rematch, so to speak, from the prior fight that they had in the arc, but I want the Scabbards to get their revenge. Oda might have skipped out on the Jack stuff, but at the very least, this is more important than Jack. This is something that spans over 20 years now of them needing revenge against this dude that took out their master. And then it starts diving into something which I was really interested in, because Kaido again continues to say, but like, yo, they're not even using Oden's style, so why the hell are they hurting me? Like, how are they able to do this? And Raizo, we get more, like, it was spread out a little bit, but we continue to see just more of the Scabbards getting some hits in. Raizo grabs Kaido's blast breath with that freaking carpet and then sends it back to him, and him running. And I ain't gonna lie, that's one of my favorite things that Oda has done with the Scabbards and whatnot. Is Raizo is clear as day a nice homage, not even in the ballpark of copying, so don't you dare say I said that. He's just a beautiful homage in One Piece fashion in Oda's way to Jiraiya. Like, it just totally feels like Jiraiya, the way Jiraiya would run away in certain aspects after doing something really cool and crazy. Like, shout outs to Raizo, love it, love to see it. And then we get some flashbacks to like Oden, I believe he was talking with his wife and questioning like, why don't none of them want to learn my sword style, and seeing how dedicated they were. Again, the epicness of the Scabbards, that if they learned your style, they would kill each other to prove who's the best one, who's the best and who's the most capable. So yeah, they're not gonna want to, because they love you so much that it would lead to some fucked up shit. Then we get that epic scene again of the Scabbards lining up to do the 2 sword style, with another flashback of Oden saying, so this is how you do Rio, and getting pissed off that they weren't paying attention. And it seems as though that they were doing that in terms of like not trying to create this, again, this malicious competition that it would turn into at the very least, but they were paying attention. They did all figure it out, and they all knew it. They just kept it a secret from each other, I guess. Like, they kept it a secret from Oden, and probably from each other as well, of, no, we were listening to Master, we figured it out. And that's how they've been able to do it this whole time, that they did know Rio and the 2 sword style. And the chapter ends off with Paradise Totsuka and all of the Scabbards hitting Kaido where it fucking hurts, in his stomach, where that scar was left from Oden. And boy, was this arguably the most, if not one of the most action-packed chapters of One Piece in recent times. We haven't had fights like this, just non-stop combat and action, in a while. I feel as though Oda heard people's cries of skipped fights, what the hell is going on, and that was also probably the reasoning behind not seeing, because think about it, it wouldn't have been as epic if we would have seen them fighting against Jack, to then, okay, we already saw all these abilities, we see them throwing down, now let's see them go up against Kaido. So he sacrificed the Jack battle for the Kaido battle, which I guess if you balance it out, yeah, Kaido is more important, because this is a 20-year thing. What Jack did to the, minks on Zou was disgusting and horrible, but this kind of had more importance. So it would have ruined the surprise, I guess, in a way, but I still would have loved to see it. I'll just be honest, I don't want to give him that much leeway. Like, Oda, we don't like skip fights, but at the very least, I appreciate the fact that he made up for, we didn't show you Jack, but let's show you some epic shit of them all fighting against Kaido. And overall, this chapter, again, very action-packed. Love seeing it. Love seeing the Scabbards not being sidelined and actually being useful to the cause, to the fight against Kaido. One of the final brawls of this arc, whatnot. Also, the opening conversation. It seems as though Oda has something very heavy planned for Marco, starting it off with Big Mom and him and Perospero breaking the alliance and shit like that. Like, I love this chapter. One Piece greatness, baby. What you guys think, though? Favorite attack that was landed on Kaido? Are you upset about the minks and the Scabbards as a whole being able to hurt Kaido? and do you think that this makes up for the skip fight against Jack? The fact that we're seeing it in full display, the battle of Kaido and the Scabbards. And your overall thoughts and expectations for the future of One Piece with chapter 993 and beyond. I don't think there's any breaks, so we're in the clear. We will be getting that chapter ASAP. That's all I have for this one though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy! Have an awesome day. Peace in, and once again, shout outs to the Scabbards. They are kicking Kaido's ears.
It's nights like this, and times like this, that I can give another